Hey guys, I'm Hellhound, and welcome back to the my midnight spook show here on the Horror and Metal channel. Um, Back with another tag video, actually. We're going to be doing Kweeny Todd's Hellraiser tag. I was tagged by Horrific Nightmares JM, so check out his original video, check out Kweeny Todd's original video, subscribe to both channels, all that. I'm glad somebody made a Hellraiser tag, because we already did Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, Michael Myers, and Chucky. This was this is bound to come eventually. I'm glad it's finally here. It was some great questions too, by the way. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting with the first question. Number one is name your favorite Hellraiser movies and why. Definitely the first two. The first two I think are perfect. They're excellent, nearly flawless masterpieces. Clive Barker's a genius. His original novel, The Hellbound Heart, was great, and Hellraiser is based on that. He even directed the first movie as well and wrote it and everything. So he did a great job. So the first Hellraiser is definitely, I think, the best, and part two is right up there with it. They're both excellent, very, very well done. And then three is okay, just kind of dumb, cheap, fun, kind of generic slasher territory, just really cheesy B movie. And Bloodline is kind of the same. And then everything after that is just like, doesn't even feel like a Hellraiser movie. A bunch of psychological, mind-fuck type movies with a bunch of weird things. You can't tell what's a dream and what's reality, all that shit. The most recent two didn't even have Doug Bradley as Pinhead, which were Revelations and Judgment. And I didn't even bother with Judgment. I thought Revelations was so awful. And all those ones after the first four just kind of range from mediocre to mildly entertaining to okay to just plain garbage. And I only watched them all once, and that was enough. The only ones I really love are the first two, and then 3 and 4 are okay. Everything after that, I pretty much skip. So definitely the first two for the most part. All right, question number two. What are the worst movies in the series and why? Well, as I said, everything after Bloodline. But even then, Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, and Hellraiser Bloodline, the third and fourth movies, aren't even really that good either. But they're just kind of dumb fun. They're not phenomenal, compelling, insightful movies that are going to change your life like the first two. I think the first two are just very well done. Great stories, great complex characters, awesome visuals. So yeah, I'll go with everything after Bloodline pretty much. I know some of them are kind of good. Some people argue that Inferno's good and Deader is good, and I don't know. They're okay, I guess. I don't know. I only watched them once. Maybe I should revisit them. But really, the only ones I can really sit through are the first four, and especially the first two. But yeah, I'll say the worst in the series. Pretty much anything other than the original two. Pretty much, the 3 and 4 were enjoyable in some level. Everything after that to me is just pretty much not worth it. But Doug Bradley's always awesome. The movies that he's in, where he's Pinhead. He is Pinhead. Nobody else can play that role quite like he can. Oh my God. Silence. Silence, I said. Okay, question number 3. Who are your favorite human characters in the series and why? Oh, definitely Larry, Frank, Julia, and Kirsty, played by Ashley Lawrence. Does Frank actually count, though? Because when we first see him, he's kind of like more of a zombie. He's not really, he's already dead, so I don't know. If he doesn't count, then whatever. Mostly Larry Cotton, played by Andrew Robinson, who's always good. And Julia, his cheating, adulterous, seductive wife. Pretty much does Frank's bidding, and becomes the main villain in the second film, pretty much. She becomes totally different, totally outright evil villainous. And, of course, Kirsty Cotton, played by Ashley Lawrence, who's the main character in the first two, has a brief cameo in part 3, and then she returned in Hellseeker, I believe it was. But they just kind of wasted it. It was a total wasted opportunity because it didn't make any sense. I also like Angelique, played by Valentina Vargas from Hellraiser Bloodline. She was kind of the femme fatale, an evil, awesome villain. I've seen before she became a Cenobite. She was doing Pinhead's bidding and, working with him as one of the antagonists, and I thought she was pretty cool, So, those are my favorite human characters. All right, question number 4. Who are your favorite Cenobites and why? Well, that's an easy one. The original 4 from the first two movies. Pinhead, of course, the female Cenobite, the Chatterer, and the Butterball. That's, that's a no-brainer for me. Some of the other ones throughout the rest of the series are creative, I guess, and okay. But none are better than the original 4, So, all right, question number 5. What was your first Hellraiser film? The original. I watched them all in order, starting at the very beginning, so they pretty much gradually got worse from there. But yeah, the original was the first one I saw. And I loved it back then. It changed my life, and I just fell in love with the movie. I still think it's a masterpiece. It's a classic. It's just excellent. Very, very well done. All right, question number 6. What is your favorite scene in the series? I really loved when Kirsty's being chased by that huge demon with a huge tail. Looks like a scorpion man thing. And she goes in the hospital, and comes out of the wall, and it's been chasing. I think it's called the Engineer. That was a pretty cool special effect, cool looking monster, and the scene just comes out of nowhere. You don't expect it. I thought that was really awesome. I also love the ending when the homeless guy grabs a puzzle box, goes into the fire, becomes like a skeletal dragon type of thing. I think he's supposed to be the devil or something. I also love at the end of the first movie where now here, let me just go on a tangent real quick. Okay, Frank is the main villain in the first movie. It's not all about the Cenobites like you'd think. It's not all Pinhead's movie. He didn't even have a name yet. He was called Lead Cenobite. It wasn't about the origin of the Cenobites and all that until the sequels. The first movie was all about Frank. He was the villain, and he was played by Sean Chapman, who was a human. And Sean Chapman did a good job. He was sadistic and violent and everything you'd want in an antagonist. And but when he was skinless, he was played by Oliver Smith. I didn't think Oliver Smith did quite as good. Before he got his skin back, he'd be like, "Hey, come to daddy." He was kind of wooden. But Frank was really awesome when he took Larry's skin and was thus played by Andrew Robinson. Andrew Robinson plays a great villain, like his scene as Dirty Harry. He was also good in Pumpkinhead 2 and Child's Play 3. But when Frank was in Larry's skin, he was really awesome. I loved his lines. Come to daddy, we can all be happy here. He was just deliciously evil. I think Andrew Robinson played Frank way better than the other two. So, any scenes involving him from the first movie is my favorite. Yeah, most of my favorite scenes are in the first movie, I know. And a lot of great ones are in the second one, too, when they're in hell and stuff. All right, let's move on. Question number 7. What is your favorite quote in the series? Well, most people are going to pick something Pinhead said, and rightfully so. He's got some great ones. We have such sights to show you, and time to play, and, it's a waste of good suffering. But I'm going to go with another one of Frank's lines as portrayed by Andrew Robinson, and that's, Jesus wept. I love when he says that. He's got the hooks in his face, pulling his skin apart, and that's like his last line. It's such a cool line. And I think Andrew Robinson might have actually ad-libbed that. He might have improvised that, which is even cooler. He's an underrated actor. He's a very underrated actor. And he wasn't even really that interesting as Larry, but as Frank, freaking phenomenal, man. Great villain. All right, anyway, the final question number 8. This is an interesting one. If you open the puzzle box, what the series is based around, if you opened the box and turned it to a Cenobite, what would that look like? Oh, great question. I always pictured something like, I'd have really pale skin, black lips, black around my eyes, black fingernails, I'll just look totally dead, like a corpse, very pale white, perma-white skin like the Joker, and have cuts all over my face, various bloody cuts with blood oozing out all over my body, actually, not just my face, various cuts, wounds, gashes all over my body, be pale, and probably either not have any hair, be completely bald, kind of like Pinhead, or have really long black hair or something. I don't know. I always picture something like that. Yes, I have thought about this before. I know, I'm sick. But yeah, good question. Yeah, kudos to Kweeny Todd for coming up with that. I really like that. Don't forget to subscribe to her channel, by the way. But yeah, that's the final question. So yeah, alright guys, this is the Hellraiser tag. Glad somebody finally made one. After all the other great horror franchise-related tags we've done recently, this is a great addition to that. Glad to be a part of it. Again, check out her channel. Check out Horrific Nightmares JM's channel and his video. He tagged me. And anybody who wants to do this tag, I'm just going to leave it open. And I think Kweeny Todd left it open as well. But yeah, I'm not going to tag anybody. But I think everybody that I would tag is already doing this video. As it turned out, Sean Urshan, I believe, is already doing it. I think Bronco Juggalo is probably doing it as well. But yeah, leave your answers in the comments if you want, or make a video response, whatever you want. I'm leaving it open. Hellraiser, great movie. Great characters. A few good sequels. But overall, it's probably one of the worst horror franchises because there's more bad entries than good. Again, the only ones I really love are the first two. But who knows? Maybe someday they'll make a really good Hellraiser film. So, alright guys, I'm Hellhound. Thank you for watching my Midnight Spook Show. Until next time.